Long, long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Kapilavastu, there stood a magnificent and peaceful palace. King Suddhodana and Queen Maya loved their land and their people deeply. One quiet night, gentle moonlight filled the queen's sleeping chamber. Queen Maya was fast asleep, a peaceful smile upon her face. In her dream, a holy white elephant with 6 tusks descended slowly from the heavens. The elephant turned into a warm light and gently entered the queen's side. Time passed, and the queen traveled along a flower-covered road to her childhood home for the birth. She arrived at the beautiful Lumbini garden, where the sun shone brightly and flowers were in full bloom. Gracefully, the queen reached up and held the branch of a cell tree. At that very moment, the holy prince, Siddhartha, was born amidst a divine glow. A miracle happened. The baby could walk immediately, and wherever he stepped, lotus flowers bloomed. He took 7 steps, pointed to the sky and the earth, and declared his noble destiny. Sadly, the queen passed away soon after. The grieving king entrusted the baby to his aunt's care. The king invited the wise sage Asita to read the little prince's fortune. The sage looked at the prince and smiled, but then tears streamed down his face. He said, "If this child leaves home, he will become an enlightened Buddha. I weep because I will not live to see that day." The king frowned with worry. He was determined to make his son the future king. To keep the prince's heart, the king built 3 luxurious palaces for the different seasons. High walls separated the palaces from the outside world, creating a perfect world for the prince. The prince grew up brilliant and wise, amazing all his teachers with his knowledge. He was also strong and skilled, easily pulling the strongest bow and surpassing everyone in martial arts. His life was filled with music and dancing, surrounded by lovely attendants day and night. Yet, late at night, young Siddhartha would stand alone, looking at the moon, feeling a strange emptiness. Even at the liveliest parties, he seemed out of place, as if his eyes were searching for something else. The king watched his son from afar, his worry growing day by day. Finally, the prince married the beautiful princess Yasodhara in a grand wedding. When they first met, their eyes were filled with gentleness and love for each other. From then on, they walked in the gardens, living a life of happiness that everyone envied. Soon, their son Rahula was born. The prince looked at his family with deep affection. But behind that love, he felt the invisible chains binding him even tighter. Between the warmth of his home and the unknown world outside, the prince's heart was in turmoil. At the age of 29, he finally longed to step outside the closed palace gates. He asked his father for permission reluctantly. The king nodded and agreed. The king immediately ordered, "Clean the streets, hide anything unpleasant from the prince's view." The prince rode out of the east gate, The streets were full of cheering, healthy people, everything looked perfect. But suddenly, amidst the crowd, appeared someone who had been missed, a frail, old man. The man had white hair and a bent back, trembling as he walked. The prince was shocked. For the first time, he saw what old age really meant. On his second trip, he became more alert, searching for the truth of this world. By the dusty roadside, he saw a sick man curled up in pain, covered in sores. The prince's brow furrowed. He felt the pain of sickness for the first time. The body was so fragile. On his third trip, the air was heavy with sadness. A group of people carried a corpse, crying loudly in grief. He realized that all life eventually ends in a cold, still body. The prince turned pale. The shock of death struck him deeply. Back in the palace, the shadows of old age, sickness, and death haunted him, taking away his joy. On his fourth trip, he was no longer sightseeing. He was desperately looking for answers. Then, he met a monk, though dressed in rags. His expression was as calm as still water. The prince stepped down from his chariot and asked urgently, "In this painful world, how can you be so at peace?" The monk smiled and said, "I have let go of desire to find the path to freedom." In an instant, the light of hope returned to the prince's eyes. Watching the monk walk away, Siddhartha clenched his fist. He had made his decision. That night, he stood by the bedroom door, gazing at his sleeping wife and child one last time. Though his heart ached with love, he knew he had to live to find the truth that would save all beings. He knelt silently outside his father's door, saying a wordless goodbye. Under the moonlight, his white horse, Kantaka, leaped high, carrying the prince over the palace walls. At dawn, the prince drew his sword and cut off his royal hair, severing his ties to the throne. He took off his fine robes and put on rough cloth. The prince was gone. A seeker was born. Siddhartha sent his servant back. With a shaved head, he walked alone into the wilderness. He visited great masters to learn meditation. He learned quickly, amazing his teachers. But when he opened his eyes, the suffering remained. This was not the ultimate freedom. So he entered the forest of ascetics, determined to push his body to the limit. In the forest, 5 other ascetics were practicing. Siddhartha joined them. He tried extreme breath-holding exercises, enduring terrible headaches. He sat motionless under the scorching sun, drenched in sweat. Eventually, he ate only 1 grain of rice a day, barely keeping himself alive. 6 years passed. He became heartbreakingly thin, his eyes sunken, his energy fading. One day, he tried to bathe in the river but was too weak to stand and collapsed on the bank. As he woke up, looking at his trembling hands, he realized torturing the body does not bring wisdom. It is like a sitter's string. If too tight, it snaps. If too loose, it won't play. Only the middle path creates music. Understanding the middle way, his eyes were no longer pained but filled with determination. Just then, a kind milkmaid named Suyata approached with a bowl of milk rice. Seeing the weak Siddhartha, she respectfully offered him the food. Siddhartha decided to accept it. Seeing this from afar, his 5 companions thought he had given up. Disappointed, they left him. After eating the milk rice, warmth and strength returned to Siddhartha's body. Stronger now, he walked alone towards a sacred Bodhi tree. He carefully prepared a seat of grass under the tree. Sitting down, he made a vow: I will not rise from this seat until I find the ultimate truth. This determination shook the demon King Mara, who came with his army to stop him. First, Mara sent his daughters to tempt Siddhartha with beauty. But Siddhartha's heart was like still water. Ashamed, the daughters retreated. Enraged, Mara summoned an army of monsters, firing thousands of arrows at the seeker. But a miracle happened. As the arrows neared Siddhartha, they turned into falling flower petals. Mara shouted, "Who can prove you are worthy of enlightenment?" Siddhartha slowly reached out his right hand and touched the earth. "The earth is my witness." The earth rumbled and glowed. Mara and his army fled in terror, scattered by the light. With the demons gone, Siddhartha entered a deeper state of meditation. In the first watch of the night, he saw all his past lives. In the middle watch, he saw the cycle of life and death for all beings. In the final watch, he broke the chain of ignorance and found the root of suffering. As the morning star rose in the east, the first light of dawn broke the night. Siddhartha opened his eyes. In that moment, he was no longer Siddhartha, he was the Buddha, the awakened one. His face radiated infinite compassion and peace. Nothing in the world could trouble him anymore. The world rejoiced, and flowers rained down from the sky to celebrate this great moment. The truth of the Four Noble Truths became clear in his heart. At the age of 35, the Buddha slowly rose from beneath the Bodhi tree. He gazed with gratitude at the tree that had sheltered him. But then, he paused in thought. This truth was so deep, would the world be able to understand it? The god Brahma descended from the clouds and knelt, pleading, "Please, teach the world, or it will remain in darkness." With eyes full of compassion, the Buddha looked at the world and nodded. He stepped forward to begin his journey of sharing the truth.